Real quick, I want to give a shout out. I'm wearing this Portillo shirt. It was sent to me by John Dizon. We all got custom shirts from him today. Thank you very much.
Mine's the best.
No, mine's the best. It's a Portillo shirt.
No.
Because Portillo's sells t-shirts, but they aren't really good. This is a really good one. It's on black, which he knows I like. John knows I like that, so he made it. He's like, Portillo's won't sell the shirt you want, Greg? We'll steal their logo and make you one ourselves. And I appreciate that.
Amazon leaks all sorts of shit, although it's typically Amazon France that does the leaking.
Oui. Je m'appelle Amazon France. Cigarettes and berets and unreleased video game news.
Kevin?
Do you think they have some guy there that they just won't fire, who just keeps doing it and be like, oops?
Zoot alors. Yeah, I think so. Named Barry.
Can I get a Minority Report on Greg's flagrant use of the term zoot alors?
Zoot alors.
Accurate.
Okay, fair enough.
I picture the guy he's sitting there at his little thing, and he's got a little mustache, and he's got the beret, and then he's got that black and white striped shirt. He's got a cigarette going at all times while he's like, zoot alors, I published PlayStation again. Oh, wow. Drinks a giant thing of wine. Has a baguette on his desk for no reason. Little mini Eiffel Tower.
Dave McNary at Variety says, 4th Star Trek movie announced with Chris Hemsworth. Pine's Captain Kirk will cross paths with his father, described as, quote, a man he never had a chance to meet, but whose legacy has haunted him since the day he was born.
That's good, that's good, that's deep. Time travel, you think? Or do you think is like, yeah, it's time travel. Because he didn't get sucked into a vortex, he got blown up, right? Yeah.
How dare you spoil Star Trek?
Do you think he'll recognize him?
No, how could either men recognize each other?
No, there's definitely, now...
He's gonna look at him and be like...
Kirk could recognize him. He's gonna recognize
you think he's...
They have photos? All the photos of the dad were on the ship?
Were there a bunch on the ship?
No, that's what I'm saying. The mom would have a photo of the dad.
Well, I'm saying, like, would you recognize your grandpa if you saw him walking? Great grandpa, let's say. I'm sure you've seen a photo.
I am in this story. I imagine Captain Kirk is going to be aware they've time traveled back.
Maybe.
You're fucking crazy. It was a stupid question, but it was directed at, was the dad going to be able to recognize his son?
Well, that's even crazier.
Of course fucking Kirk is going to be able to recognize his dad.
I don't know how that's how that works. Also, like...
If I went back and I was like, holy shit, I just went 20 years into the past or whatever, and I'm still doing, whatever, I'm in Chicago, I would go look at my dad and be able to say, that's my dad. That's a younger version.
But it's because you grew up with your dad. He didn't see his dad ever.
It's going to be a fucking photo of him. Clearly this guy died in his prime, you know what I mean? And you're telling me his hot mom isn't gonna have the little photo of them together ever? There was no photos?
No, I'm sure that there's a bunch of photos, but I think that it's gonna be harder to recognize.
How? That doesn't make any sense. How is that possible?
His dad is literally a famous starship captain for the thing that he did. Everyone would know what the guy looks like.
What are you even talking about?
Plus, if your dad looked like that, wouldn't you show pictures of that guy to girls all over town just to get some pussy?
No, whoa, I don't know if that's how that works.
I'm sorry, guys, I apologize.
Hey, can I buy you a drink? This is a photo of my hot dad. I got good genes. I'm looking right at you. You're attractive as well. I don't
make a great looking child together. Is that gonna happen?
By the way, just want to announce, you guys are going to San Diego Comic-Con.
Right.
I'm not. Wednesday, Kevin will do the show with me.
Now, this is the one thing I'm throwing out there. We had a conversation about this a while ago. And then over the weekend, I actually got my affairs in order. Organized
You got your affairs in order? Okay.
Yeah. We don't leave till like Wednesday afternoon. So I can still do the show. You know what? Actually flip it around. I'll do Kevin's job. Kevin does my job.
No.
Yep.
No.
It's done. It's done. The motion carries.
I don't like that
Colin,
idea.
carry the motion for me. It's done. Kevin on Wednesday, Greg in the producing seat.
If you're here,
I'm gonna drive.
Just do your show.
I'm gonna drive.
Big
Just
Kev
do the
dog.
show.
I'm gonna drive Big Kev dog. Whoa. Let him off the chain. See what this guy can do.
Or you just do your show.
Gerard the Mart gave us tips and said, hey guys, any tips for moving to San Francisco? Actually says, hey guys, any tips for moving to the San Francisco? I plan on moving when I start school for animation and visual effects. Keep up the good work. Don't.
Have a lot of money. Look for a roommate right now.
Don't live in the city.
Don't live. No.
They're
live
smaller.
In the city.
No.
How
so
young are you?
expensive.
How much fun do you want to have? You got to decide. Do you want to have a savings one day, or do you want to have fun?
The other thing you have to decide is, do you want to be one of the people that pretends that they don't... Oh, living in San Mateo is the fucking best, man. Yo, I love living in Burlingame. You gotta come down here and live in
East Bay. East Bay life, man. I'll wear my Oakland shirt around.
Yeah, I guess you tell a lie enough, it'll fucking become true. These people are like the fucking...
You're out at a bar with these people and they're like, oh, well, sorry, last train's it's 10:30. I gotta go. I don't want to get stranded here.
No, man, if I keep telling myself I can live an hour and a half away from the city and feel great.
Yeah.
These people on Twitter are the worst. Like, come live with, like when someone's like, I'm leaving. Like, come down to San Bruno so you can fucking make it livable.
Wait, hold on. Raiders 1901. Hey, fuckers, I'm from Burlingame.
Yo, come live with us in Pacifica, man. It's like Mordor. You can't see anything. It's foggy all fucking day. Brutus Heyasosu, I guess.
Heyasosu.
So San Fran sounds so financially stressful. It is. That's why I encourage you not to move here. Don't move here. We have to be here. You know?
We don't.
We do, though.
No.
Where do you want to go now, Kevin? We just have a
Literally
fucking
anywhere
lease on an
else.
office.
Well, yeah, now, but I try to get you assholes to move several times.
Well, everyone was like, first we were like, well, maybe we move to Southern California. That's going to happen. So we really are left with few options. You know what I mean?
Could have bought a compound in Colorado.
I'm fine with the compound, but I want to buy my own compound without any of you. So I never have to see any of you ever again when I retire.
Colin, in time.
Actually, when I went out this weekend for Ty Root's going away little shindig, he was saying how he can buy the compound next to me. And I was like, that's fine. I need about a 20-acre buffer.
Yeah.
And I'll be watching you. So don't fucking try any funny business.
Yeah.
Because I will be watching. You'll see a little sheen of my sniper scope.
Yeah.
The reality is we're never leaving the city, and we all know it. Okay. Mad Av 7 says Portillo is the star of this show.
Oh, Porty.
He's becoming a little more vibrant in his old age, isn't he?
Is he?
No.
Today
he definitely
with,
isn't.
with Lolo was fucking hilarious.
What happened?
Lola kept running up to him to
Yeah.
play.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
he
yeah.
was just like, I'm going to walk slightly around.
Yeah, it was so funny. She kept doing her jumping around, and he was just literally like, dude, I'm trying to walk. I'm just walking.
I got things to do. Can you get out of my way, please?
No response at all. Like, he just does not care.
Real cool. Liquid Shake 23 is the guy who made these shirts. He's in the chat. He just did a nice shirt.
Cool,
I hope you
thank
saw
you.
your shout out earlier. John, thank you again.
Thank you.
Kevin likes his shirt a lot. He freaked out about it.
It's fucking awesome.
Go get it. Bring it in here and show it to him.
Remember the sheet back.
All right, cool. Oh, you put it on. I didn't expect. Did you put it on over your shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Here's Kev's shirt. The big dog. Oh, whoa. How stoked are you to walk around in a shirt with your face on it?
Pretty stoked.
Yeah.
It's a little big though.
I was like, yesterday I was depressed. I was like, I'm having a sad day.
Why?
And I was like, oh, Marty. And I
Why
hit
were
up
you having a
one of
sad
Marty.
day?
I was just having a sad day. Can't I be sad sometimes?
No.
Force myself to go out. And it was great.
I'm the one that's sad.
Oh, it wasn't like sad like that. It wasn't like you're sad. You know
Like,
what I
it's
mean?
like a general kind of like fabric of your life kind of thing.
the fabric of Colin's life. Sadness.
The theme of my life. Sushi Girl Alley gave us a tip. Said, hi, friends. Funny thing. My dad is an Uber driver, and yesterday he picked up Shane Prince. I don't follow hockey, but I freaked out on behalf of Colin. Hashtag Go Islanders. That's funny. Shane Prince plays for the Islanders. Just signed a contract for, I think, a 2-year extension. Pretty cool. Thank you, Shane Prince, for all your hard work.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
What in relation to JT? What's he doing?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing compared to JT. No one does anything compared to JT.
Is he one of his wings?
No.
Is he a defenseman? Is he a
No,
goon?
he's not a defenseman.
Is he a goalie?
He's not a defenseman. He's not a goon. And he's not a goalie.
So he's the center? He's another center?
There's other
This guy.
There's other
Shane-
positions in
No,
hockey.
there's center, wings,
Yeah, but you never
defenders,
said anything about
goalie.
the wings, and that's what.
I did.
No, you didn't. You asked if he was a defenseman, a goon, or a goalie. That's what you asked. Rewind
Unmute
the
yourself.
tape.
Is he one of his wings?
No.
He said wing. Thank you.
Damn it.
Bacon.
Is it hi,
They're all
guys?
saying he said wings.
Oh, comfy.
pretty
I'd
soon.
wear that around my neck. Now the question is, are the flowers also alive? In other words, if I ripped one of those flowers off,
Sure.
would he scream?
Sure, I think so. You have to imagine that blue thing connects all the flowers, and then it connects it to his ass. And
So
then
it's
there
like
you go.
that's like an artery. So
Yeah.
if I snipped it with a scissor,
right.
probably wouldn't appreciate that.
No.
Who's your favorite Big Kevin dog?
Charizard.
No, Kevin. Out of the
Classic.
ones that are just announced, I don't care about who your favorite Pokemon is. It's also a terrible choice.
Charizard, man.
Charizard's your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about your favorite starter.
Yeah. He's fucking dope.
You know who my favorite starting Pokemon is?
That's someone dumb.
Bulbasaur.
No, you're a lying
No,
piece
I'm
of
not.
shit. You don't mean that.
No, I mean it.
He's lying.
No, I'm not.
Look at him.
I'm
He's
not lying.
lying.
I chose
Bulbasaur
Bulbasaur
is
in
your
1998 when I
favorite.
played Pokemon for the first time on Pokemon Red.
Because he made it
I
easier
chose
for you.
Bulbasaur. Well, I liked his design more than the other ones. He had more girth.
You liked his design.
He was a man. He was an animal man with a plant on his back.
It's true.
Animal man.
I caught him at the gas station not too long ago. I was walking by. He was there, clear as day. I had to take this motherfucker down.
Do you know who my favorite? Do you know who my favorite Pokemon is overall? I'm gonna bring up a picture of him for you.
Why don't you share that with me? You want to keep it a secret? Oh, I like that.
No one else can know.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's really my favorite Pokemon. Why?
I know why.
There's a Mega Man connection.
I know why. Exactly. It's clear as day.
Well, now I think now everyone knows.
Maybe. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I'm not going to tell them. Tack Joe gave us a tip. Said I just got an English Bulldog puppy and I'm not sure what to name it. Any ideas? Kevin. Name it Kevin.
Yeah, name it Kevin. Big Kev dog.
Big Kev dog. There you go. Yeah.
Don't do something stupid though and like name it like a name that ends in an S and then permanently make it apostrophe possessive afterwards because that's really stupid. No one will ever do that.
Is it really stupid?
Or enjoy that at all.
All right.
Don't give it a really complicated long name that nobody ever remembers. Just be a normal person and name it something normal, like Portillo or Lola or Kevin.
Portillo is something normal.
Yeah.
That's a normal
It's
name.
a one word. It's one word. We're done. We're in and out.
Nobody knows how to pronounce.
My cat's named Thomas's whatever the fuck sock face potato.
Janine Coelho. You know his name.
I don't. I do not know that.
Thomas Janine Coelho.
But it's Thomas's.
Yeah.
Thomas's
Which was my
Janine.
It certainly was. And I've given you credit for
Goodfellow Coelho. Is that what you said? What's one after Janine?
that. There's nothing after Janine. It's
What a
just Janine.
fucking weird ass goddamn person.
Meanwhile, Portillo doesn't even have a last name. And
He's Portillo
everybody's
Miller,
like
clearly.
Portillo.
Everybody knows his last name's
Portillo.
Miller.
Yeah, I don't know why people think it's Portillo, but I guess
It's because I think around here,
Yeah, it's Latin.
ethnically, that's how people say stuff.
see.
See.
No, guys, no.
Can't help it. California just brings it out of you. I forgot to bring up the fact, so Aaron and I were looking up, I was like, I just don't believe that an almond takes so much water. And it does. Now, we learned other things about, so we knew alfalfa took a lot of water. We know the walnut takes a lot of water.
Sure.
Broccoli takes a lot of water.
Broccoli's real good, though.
Like an incredible amount of water.
Broccoli,
Not about half
that
as much.
shit's good.
You can eat healthy and it still be delicious.
100%.
Yeah.
Broccoli, that shit's good. You'll get that joke Friday, Patreon supporters.
Now, that's it for that. So that's it for tips.
Okay.
Thank you for the tips. We appreciate you guys very much. Let's get into the check. You have your questions, comments, and concerns. It's not that funny. I mean, it's not that
I
funny.
really like it as a slogan. And it
You're
makes me
very
laugh.
easily amused.
Whatever.
Too easily amused.
That's an opinion.
Foley1993 says, do you guys have an update on your office space? We are, I mean, everything's really going. And the wheels are in motion. We have the office space, it's secured. We ordered way too much shit for it, but in a good way. And it's starting to get fabricated and fit and all those kinds of things over the coming weeks. And we plan to be in there towards the end of August, permanently.
Got our plumber coming on Thursday.
Good, somebody's putting a shitter in there?
No, the shitter's already in there.
Somebody's putting a shower in there?
Works great. No, we can't have a shower.
What
in
the
there.
fuck is the plumber doing there? Why are we spending money on the plumber?
Fridge.
Everyone, like, let's be honest, okay?
Ice
I've heard
machine.
of this office, we have this great new office and a bunch, and we have all this. I've heard 90% of what I've heard about the office is that we want to get a fridge that fucking has water coming out of it. That's like the, don't worry about any, yeah, we're getting the sets done, we're all these kinds of things, we have desks and all these kinds of things. But guys, do you know we're getting a fridge that has water coming out of it like it's a fucking
so
revolution?
excited.
As if you can't go to the sink.
That and the chairs. He was super excited about the chairs.
It's like incredible that
I
we're having a
wasn't
plumber.
excited
It's
about
incredible
the
that we're having a
chairs.
plumber come to the office and paying for this so we can get water to come out of a fridge. That's all I guess is what I'm saying.
Colin.
It's ridiculous.
And ice.
It's ridiculous.
Is it pellet ice?
Shut up. You know it's not pellet ice.
I don't know.
Oh, I've talked.
Yeah, I black out a lot when you start talking about shit I don't give a flying fuck about.
It's good to know.
This is Kevin Coelho. Greg Miller is off screen.
How you guys doing? Look at me using
Put the mic up higher. Why is the mic so low?
I don't know. Why do you
There
keep
you
it
go.
so
'Cause you're
low? That's
short.
Because I'm short.
I guess that makes sense. This doesn't sound like my mic's on. I hit the button like you always hit it though.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I sound the same and everything.
You should be able to hear
What
yourself.
should I hit all these buttons? Because you usually hit all these buttons.
Oh, no. Yeah, hit the second green one.
we
There
go.
it is.
And
There
then there
it
you
is.
go. There it is. It's happening. Look at me, everybody. I'm Kevin. Oh, it's so cool.
I can't see you.
I know. I'm aware.
That's the first
Kevin.
time anyone's ever said, I'm Kevin, it's so cool.
Oh no, Kevin. Why is this like? Why is this mic so limp and loose?
Oh, because it's a really cheap stand.
Oh, okay. That
It
makes
costs
sense.
$12.
That's fine.
Also,
Guys, this is awesome. It's like I'm on the radio. It's like I'm on the radio, Colin. I'm talking and I hear myself and I sound all like I'm
excited?
I'm Robin Gibbons over here.
You're Robin Gibbons. That's exactly who you are, Greg.
I love it.
So
Baba
excited
Booey,
for
Baba
you.
Booey.
So excited for you. You look good today.
Thank you.
You look like a math teacher in high school. Stand up and show me your pants.
Showing them pants, big Kev dog. Now talk about how when you came.
Wait, turn around again.
Tuck in the shirt.
Wait,
put
turn
on
around
the
again. Your
belt.
zipper's open, which is great.
Why haven't you? I told you when you were in my room to fix your zipper.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
I thought you were being.
I wish your
playful.
big dick was hanging out.
Whoa.
Now you're just trying to be like a morning zoo kind of guy over there.
Well, you knew I was going to be able to turn it off just because I sat over here. When you got gold in your throat, you want to spew it on everyone.
Does it bother you? He's not looking at us.
No,
Yeah.
because for the record, this is how the show should be run. So you always know what it looks like over there. You always know what's on screen.
You gotta have fun. Look
If
at
you were,
us.
if I was looking at you, I'd be. If I'm Kevin over here, I'm looking on my phone. I'm like the chat's going. I
Yeah,
don't
you
even care
checking
what
the
they
chat?
say. Yeah.
There it is.
Your
There it
thigh is open. Shuhei Yoshida has been hacked on Twitter. Tamura Hussein at GameSpot writes, Shuhei Yoshida's Twitter hacked by group behind Pokemon Go server outage. Does this indicate that they don't use two-step verification if they're getting hacked like this? Greg?
Why are you? I'm looking at you.
He's
You're all
looking
looking
at you the
You're all
entire
looking. I
time.
know he is. Why? Look at Kevin. Ask
Do you
Kevin
not notice that I
questions.
look at Kevin when I do the show? Now I'm going to look at you.
Once in a no, I noticed usually you look at your screen and you don't pay attention to me.
I look at Kevin. Kevin, do I not look? Are you going to sit here and tell me I
No,
don't look at you?
I would never argue that. You look at me.
So now I have
look
to
right at you.
So now I have to look at
He's
you.
not even looking at us.
I mean, I'm doing the show the exact same way I always do it.
Look at me. I'm a shock jock. I got a microphone over here and headphones. I love it. I'm never coming back.
What?
You know how Kevin's always yelling at us about our mics? I'm always like, fuck off. It's
Yeah.
not that bad. It sucks. That shit sucks, man. Kevin's right. There
you
you
go.
Good job, Kev. Good job, Kev. You
Don't do that.
you-
Nobody likes
Colin.
that.
Lou Turbo's dying. Don't do this to him.
You want to fix it? Or you want to get up and fix it for him?
He just fixed it. It's all set.
All right.
I'll just tell him as time comes. I
For
mean,
all
you,
of 10 seconds, and then he's going to move a little bit.
can
He's
you
gonna
just,
tug
you know
on it.
what? I just want you to be the host. Just host. Don't worry about what's happening over here. I'm producing a great show. We're having a great time.
I'm not. I wasn't meant to be a host, people.
But you're so good and you're so good looking. I'm getting texts from friends who are watching and they're saying, oh my God, Kevin looks so good.
No, they're not. No one's texting you, though.
Let him believe it. Let me believe it.
No one's texting you. A lot of people are asking why you're doing so much talking, and I have a similar fucking question.
And
Kevin,
I think he should be here. Just
you don't want to be here? You don't want to be here next
Well,
time?
it's just like, this is an emergency thing. We shouldn't pull this cord unless we have to, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're. What, do you have somewhere to be?
No, just getting texts.
My thoughts on websites using clickbait. I mean, everything is clickbait. Like, people want you to click on things, so they are baiting you to click with a snazzy headline. What's important is if the headline matches
The content.
the content.
Yeah.
That was the thing real quick. I don't think headlines, even a snazzy headline isn't clickbait.
You can't help yourself.
This is too much fun. Do you understand how good I sound? Hello, does it sound like I'm on old time radio?
Do we not sound as good?
No, this thing, I mean,
Yeah,
it sounds
this
different.
makes
You know what I
sense.
mean? This sounds different. This sounds like I'm listening to
Yeah.
Howard Stern's show.
Real classic.
Not two
stuff.
morons in a fucking spare bedroom.
Crow.
And I get to click a button whenever I want to talk, Colin. It's awesome.
That's a dream. Well, my dad once brought home a cash register for me, an old cash register for me to play with, and it was like a fucking dream, dude. Because when I was in wall bounds or like Finest in the 80s, all I wanted to do was jump behind that counter and just start pressing every goddamn button on that thing. I definitely did. And I might have a few times.
There's a cream. Do you know what cream is?
No.
They make ice cream sandwiches.
I don't like ice cream sandwiches. Because I only like vanilla ice cream.
But they have vanilla ice cream.
But then I have to, what I have to have?
What's your favorite cookie?
Oatmeal raisin, peanut butter,
They probably
something.
have it. They probably have it.
But that doesn't go with vanilla.
I think it does. Peanut butter and vanilla? Come on.
Yeah, I guess that would work. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that would work.
Yeah.
You're right there. You're looking at pictures of yourself on your phone?
You let him do what he's doing. He's doing his job.
Yeah,
Now
I'm
we're
just doing the Kevin thing. I'm just being Kevin over
Oh,
here.
okay.
Just being cool as a cucumber, being Kev.
Not paying attention? That's perfect.
I'm
Perfect.
listening to every word you're
doing
saying. You don't like vanilla, but you like oatmeal cookies. You don't like vanilla? You should like oatmeal cookies. Not sure if you want to go to cream.
Now, Big Kev Dog.
Yeah.
I was disappointed there was no joke about
Jesus God.
saying the word cream.
Would you want me to make an Eric Clapton joke?
Just that, you make cream in your room all the time.
It's more like, it's not really cream. It's more like a salad dressing that's beyond, that's
Jesus
past its sell-by date. You know exactly what I mean. You got the ropey loads, though.
You got
as
them ropey loads.
as I know.
So, places you recommend.
So
for
I don't
people
give
to eat.
myself enough time to rejuvenate. So it's just, you could probably drink it. Actually. Matt Anderson forces Colin is a dribbler. I'm sure not a dribbler. It's like a goddamn heat-seeking missile coming out of my dick. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Thank you. Bataman91 says, Greg is totally trying to do a voice.
He's nailing it too.
I brought it down. I'm trying to be, if people want me to be more like Kevin, and Kevin always sounds like this, where he's just like, I hate everything. I wish I was assembling a desk right now.
Yep.
Portillo's just staring at the wall, which is the best part of this. Like, he's literally this close to the wall, just staring at it. Just realize that right now. He's such a fucking weirdo, man.
Did he just fake his laugh to try to be more similar to me? All right.
Alex Aff gives tips that hello from Brazil. That's where you're from, right?
Not even close.
Can I get a minority report on
It's right
that?
next to it. Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
Katatus gave us a tip and said Kevin looks like he's impersonating Jack Black's character from School of Rock. Greg, how does being Kevin feel?
Feels awesome. I like it over here. This is a fun change of pace. We're shaking it up. It's like we've been in a marriage for a long time, and we just keep having missionary position sex. The Nick Scarpino method. And here we are. Look at this. We brought
Sweet dirty
we brought a pineapple into the room. We got a robot over there watching us. It's just fucking all. It's everywhere today. For some reason, Superman is down on the floor staring in the corner too.
Oh, he's
like
visible?
Like
Hold
he looks
Hold
like he's
on.
in the Blair Witch Project.
There you go. You can't see him anymore.
Dennis the Menace 21 gave us a tip. Said, Big Dick Kev, you're a glorious bastard. Also, was I the only one that felt bad for the Deus Ex developer on the Let's Play with Greg and Nick? Too many shenanigans for him. By the way, nice job, Kev, kicking the cord.
Yeah, that sucked. He looked like he was having fun.
For the record, I feel bad for every developer we bring into the studio to do a Let's Play with me and Nick. But no, he had fun. He's just, he's foreign. He's quiet. Nick and
I
I
thought he was
aren't.
having a good time.
I thought he was having a
Yeah.
good time too, but he's just not as gregarious and laughter induced as we are.
Yeah.
I
That was
feel
a hell
bad
of a
for
Let's
everyone
Play.
that does anything with us.
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
Matt SM08 gave us a tip. Said, when one takes over Big Dick Kevin's job and voice, does their dick size increase as well? Example being Greg's baby dick now, maybe being a big dick for the day?
I'm hard as a rock right now.
But no one would know.
No.
God, you have the world's smallest penis. I know you do. I don't have to see it to know it. Big Kev Dog, as my host today, that's it for the news.
Oh, okay. So we're giving away shit. He says a bunch of stuff. I don't know what it is, but here it is. Here's the stuff we're giving away on Friday.
Now,
How
hold
do
on a
you
second.
get
We've been
this?
doing
I'm
this.
trying.
How long? You just said you don't know what he says.
I know, but then I was gonna try. How do you win the stuff? You just gotta be in the chat, or you don't want to be in the chat. That's fine. Be a subscriber, and then you're automatically entered to possibly win some of this cool stuff. All right, so that's it. Be here on Friday, and you'll get randomly chosen.
Or be a subscriber.
You didn't let me. I was gonna smile, give him a little wink, and then I was gonna say, or be a subscriber.
I don't even think you ran through all the subscriber privileges and benefits of being a subscriber.
What are the privileges? You get in the chat.
You have sub-only mode chat.
There you go.
You get to use the emojis. You get to win the prize box, or get eligible to win the prize box without having to be here. And your penis is probably bigger, too.
Also,
Or your vagina.
It's a double-edged sword.
So if you're a woman, you might want to stay away. Shrub Tim says, Colin, how does the salad dressing escape the event horizon? It's all about velocity.
yeah.
The velocity of the salad dressing is greater than that of even a photon,
Yep. Moves faster than light itself.
and therefore can escape the event horizon. Retrobot Jr. says, is Greg in charge of the Minority Report right now?
No. No.
See.
Yeah. See what happens. That's no
Si,
good.
senor.
As an off-camera white person, I can definitely, relate to the struggles of the minorities in this country.
Kevin, thank you for joining us. I hope you had fun today.
Anytime.
Anytime, you said. So, we'll
But not like when it's an emergency and we need to pull that string.
cut the feed.
I don't know how to cut that mics like he does, so I gotta. The feed's cut.
All period.
Well, no, I'm not gonna do
Look
that.
at
I just come over here and I click the little.
all
I click the little.
period.
All right, bye.
This is Vince Ingenito.
You got it.
You're one of the crowd favorites here,
Oh.
and so it's good. It's good to have you taking Greg's place. It's good to have anyone's taking Greg's place, though. Am I right?
Oh Jesus.
Am I right?
Shots fired.
You don't feel that way, Kevin?
No, I said to me being the person taking
Oh, well,
Greg's
when you
place.
take it.
Necessary. No.
Yesterday was a fun and interesting show, wasn't it?
No.
Let's get into the news and go through it really quick. because I'd rather talk to Vince than talk about things.
Aw.
NES Classic Edition, which I'm super excited about. Curious about your thoughts about this console when we're done.
Yeah, no, I can say a word or two.
I'm excited. I've played pretty much all of these games and I've beaten most of them. I'm excited for the 20-year-old out there that just wasn't exposed to the NES at all. And for them to get their hands on this and really try these old classic games out that just feel great and play great. Because I contend that there are 10 games on that list better than anything I've played in the last 5 years. That's my contention. Nothing's better than Mario 3 that I've played. Nothing's better than Mega Man 2 that I've played. Nothing's better than Castlevania. Nothing's better than Ninja Gaiden. Nothing's better than The Legend of Zelda. These are fucking classic games from a gameplay perspective. Now, if you're looking for narrative or graphics, plot, character,
Narrative. They didn't have those back then.
yeah, and you had to read the instruction manual.
Ninja Gaiden was actually kind of a groundbreaker in that sense because that was the birth of the console cutscene. That was the first time that we had like cinematic style storytelling between levels. That was a huge deal back then.
And so like the beauty of the NES to me and why it's my favorite console of all time is that it's a D-pad and 2 buttons and all about gameplay. And it's like, what can you do with this very simple setup? Now, given the tools of today, like a game like The Last of Us, which is one of my favorite games of all time, or BioShock, which is one of my favorite games of all time, these games are great with gameplay, but they're rich because of their narrative. They're rich because of character and world building and environment and all that kind of thing. Without any of that, who the fuck would want to play BioShock? And who the fuck would want to play The Last of Us without all of the accoutrements around it?
Right.
The beauty of these NES games and why I think they're so superior is because they didn't have the benefit of any of that. It was playing them. You played them.
The point was to play.
And I feel like we lose sight of the fact that we are in gaming to play the game. Now, I don't think that there's anything wrong with experiences. I love Gone Home.
Oh, sure.
I think Adrift is very intriguing. I don't think there's anything wrong with the narrative-driven things. I love narrative. I love story. But mechanically, these games put a lot of shit to shame because we didn't even feel like we needed any of that other stuff to play them. And that's the thing that is lost on that. None of those games play better than Mega Man 2. Are you kidding me? Like Mega Man 2 is a masterclass. Like Mega Man 2 has been replicated 1 million times to this day as a point of inspiration. Ninja Gaiden is Castlevania with Mega Man combined, with the fastest of Mega Man, the plottiness of Castlevania, the sub items. And they did have a story in there, but again, you needed to like use your imagination a little bit. So when I say that these games are better than those games, I don't mean that like Ninja Gaiden's better than BioShock in the sense that you can compare them. I'm saying on a gameplay level, one game shits on the other.
Oh yeah, that's
that. So like, I'm excited for people to see what these are all about.
You know that I'm all about that. The sad thing I think that we're gonna find, Colin, and because I feel like we become more and more part of a dying breed every day, is that like a big story, especially in AAA games, which are the most obviously pervasive and popular and widely selling games. Those are their stock in trade is borrowing from Hollywood style cinematic experiences. I mean, that's what they do. The whole point of a big AAA title is to borrow as much glitz and high production value and visual language from popular movies, and then package that in a gameplay experience that's palatable to the widest number of people. And then like watch the money roll in. That's literally what modern games what they do. So it's and to the reason I say that is because to so many modern gamers, like there is no separating those two. Like if a game doesn't have a story, even if that story would have been mediocre, if it doesn't have a story, if there aren't cutscenes and voice acting, already that game is, in a lot of people's minds, a lot of young people's minds, it's already half a game. There's already a major key important part that's missing. So I don't even know what a lot of modern gamers, I don't even know how they wrap their brain around a game like that just doesn't, not only does it not have a story or doesn't have much of a story, it's just like it doesn't even care. Like this, it literally is not even there is no attempt to make you feel anything in these old games. Like that's not what it's there for. And I feel like to feel something, to feel power, even if it's just to feel powerful, like in a Call of Duty game, or to feel something, a little bit deeper, like in some other games like BioShock, people more and more, modern gamers, expect to feel something when they play a game. And you and I are just heartless assholes. We're just robots.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
we're just like, no, a game is there to challenge my mind and my fingers. And that is, and anything else it does beyond that is like
is like a bonus.
Yeah, and I think a great bonus sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, and I think sometimes I crave a story, sometimes I don't.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
with Mighty Number 9, for instance, which I thought was an abomination.
Oh, God.
The story in that game actually got in the way, where I'm like, I don't know what you guys are thinking with this.
Why is
And-
it constant talking?
Yeah,
I don't care.
Like, it's but you know, in a game again like I don't know, Spec Ops: The Line, like that game would have not resonated without its amazing plot.
Absolutely.
So I'm not taking away from that.
I feel like the best stories in modern gaming, like the best marriage of game and story, is to me a passive story experience, because I wish more developers would acknowledge and accept the idea of the player's actions as narrative, the player's actions as plot. You know, like to me, the story of, so like people sometimes, for instance, they criticize some of the Elder Scrolls games for not having a vibrant enough plot or not as prominent enough of a story. And I feel like those games have too much of a story. Like I systematically ignore the main plot line in every Elder Scrolls game, because the story to me is about how I escaped this dungeon and then just saw the wild blue yonder out in front of me and headed east. The story, the adventure is mine, is of my making. And that's what I love about games from the NES era that do have a little bit of that passive element, like you said, Zelda 2 does, where the story is what I do. And I feel like instead of borrowing so heavily from the language of film, which is very overt, and I feel like doesn't meld very well with player agency, I wish more games would take the instead of taking the film approach, I wish they would take a theater approach, which is like they set a stage, they give you a setting, they give you props, and then you act it out, and that's the story. And I don't think that too many modern games do that. So yeah, I hope that there's a lot of like telling and without you being able to be the one driving it, and I hope that changes. And yeah, you're right. There's some NES games that change that, but I feel like that's something I can see change, you know, today, right now. Is that there's just not enough of that. 'Cause to me, that's the future. The future is not making games as much like movies as possible. The future is giving you a set of tools and a world to walk around in, and letting you be the person, letting the tale that gets told be the one that you build.
Over at Silicon Era Final Story, Jenny writes, next Neo demo arrives on August 23rd. And they had an original beta that, or really an alpha that people played and actually really liked. And the developers took a lot of that stuff, a lot of the feedback under account. And so this is another one. I'm stoked. And I like this idea of not every game should do this. I don't think people should make a trend of this, but with Neo specifically, teasing the game's existence with the alpha and the beta, taking feedback under advisement from the player community to make the game more what the community wants, I think is smart. What's interesting about it is it's single player. That's what I love about it. Is like it's not one of these betas that's basically like a multiplayer beta that's basically a demo.
Right.
This is like a different kind of way of looking at it. And I think it's really smart. I think it's going to work, pay off dividends for them in the back end too, because this is a game otherwise people wouldn't be talking about at all.
Yeah, I mean, it does a couple of things. Like, it's great marketing, right? It's great marketing. If you've got a good game, as it turns out, letting people play it and talk about it is one of the best ways to market your game, right? If it's actually good. The other element of it is that, and like you said, not every game should do this, but I'm surprised that more single player games haven't, because like coming from the fighting game side of things, like this has been like part of the blueprint now since 2009. I mean, like with Street Fighter 4, you know, Street Fighter 4 and Super Street Fighter 4 were brought to all kinds of shows. They let pros play it. They went to PAXs and let people play it and took many multiple rounds of feedback. Did they actually have like formal betas? No, but they definitely like went out of their way to make sure that there were a constant stream of feedback coming in from the general player base by going out to shows that were public access that anyone can just show up to and getting feedback. And it's like I've spent enough time with developers now in my life to know that like the people who know the ones and zeros and how to code, those are definitely the developers. The people who know better than anyone what's fun, what's not, what's balanced, what isn't, it's always the QA department. It's always the QA testers. They're the fucking soldiers on the ground who are playing the game night and day, and they're the people who have a mind for level design and balance and combat and mechanics, and like those are the guys that make or break the game. So it's like, in a way, it makes sense to let your eventual audience be those QA guys, not for the purpose of bugs, but for the purpose of like saying, this is fun, this isn't, this is what needs to change, this is what works, this is what doesn't. Like, no one can tell you that better than the people who are prospectively going to give you their money for the game.
Indeed. Yeah. And Legend X Myth says in the comment, Colin likes Neo's demo, but not Final Fantasy 15's demo. LOL. Well, the thing about Neo is that it looks good. So
there is that.
If I wanted to play a game about a boy band driving around in a convertible. I don't want to play a game actually about a boy band driving around in a convertible. But I'll play it. We'll see what happens. Zeno Nostramo gave us a tip and said, "What's up, Colin and Vince? Love all the things you two do."
Aww.
Kevin as well. What are some tips you can give to some of the aspiring writers here? Also, here's my birthday tax from a few days ago. In case you don't know, when it's someone's birthday, they pay us.
Okay. That's a great little racket. That's a great little racket you guys are going.
So, Vince, you're one of the writers in the industry that I think is categorically better than me. So, what do you say to the aspiring writers out there?
What I say, I don't have like a big magic bullet or a secret. Like, I think the keys are first and foremost, ply your craft in any way that you can. That's the most important thing. Like, people, it's easy, even if you admire a writer who's getting paid to do what they do, even if you admire them and think highly of them, it's easy to look at what they do and go, I am like one step from doing that. You know, it's easy to think that like you're right there, and you might actually have the raw talent, but there's so many different micro things and micro lessons that you learn about refining and composition and structure, that even if you are an excellent and even expert writer at one kind of content, that you find that when you start writing a different kind of content, you're actually kind of out in the wood, like kind of lost in the woods a little bit. So my advice to you is ply your craft and do that by constantly, even if just for yourself, even if it's not going anywhere, constantly challenging yourself to write different kinds of content. Here's you play a game, write a mock review for it, write a preview for it. You see a piece of news, write your own news story about it. Like, keep practicing, keep refining. And the kind of flip side of that coin that needs to kind of go with that is find someone better than you who's willing to give you feedback. Like, I can't stress the importance of that enough. Find someone who's a better writer than you and is willing to give you the time of day, to give you tips on how you can get better. Because there are a good editor is worth their weight in gold. Like, I can't tell you how many people from Colin and Greg and Ryan Clements all the way to Dan Stapleton now, who's the executive reviews editor at IGN now. There's just a long laundry list of people who have made me a demonstrably better writer than I was. Like, when I go back and look at my first review for IGN, which was Persona 2 Innocent Sin for the PSP, when I tried to go back and read that review like about 2 months ago, and I got 300 words in before I was like, I can't actually do this anymore. Like, it's that bad.
Yeah, that happens. I read a lot of stuff where I'm like, I definitely wrote this, but it's definitely not the way I write now. And
yeah, exactly. And and it's not to say that IGN's standards were low back then. It's just that, like, we're all kind of evolving this art of video game critique and writing about video games in a cogent and meaningful way. We're all evolving that art over time. Like, we're still kind of in the Stone Ages with it. I'm sure even just 5 more years from now, I'll look back on the writing I'm doing now and I'll go, wow, I was ass at this job. Like, I'm sure we'll all be in that place though. So yeah, that's the two most important things I think is keep plying your craft, find someone better than you, and get them to give you feedback. And I think the third thing, if your goal is to like make it a career and your goal is to like make money at it, I cannot overstate the importance of getting your face in front of people who can actually make decisions. Like, the fact that Colin knew my face, the fact that Greg knew my face, the fact that I went to Beyond 200 and met them and saw them and told them what my intentions were, that I came down for tours, that I came to be in the studio audience for the whole first runs of Up at Noon, the fact that I would go out of my way to go to the meet and greets at any PAX or whatever. Like, knowing my face, seeing me, getting to know me as a person, it's not because like you become friends and then it's like, oh, we want our friend to work with. It's not a favoritism thing. I'm just saying that like when when there's a stack this high of resumes, the just natural instinct is that the people you already know are decent people and can do good work. Those are going to be the first ones you look at. So be one of those people. Like I love San Francisco, but it is a horribly expensive place to live. But if you can find any way with a good amount of savings behind you or help from family or whatever to come out here and spend 6 months, a year, 2 years losing money, you know, I'm not saying it's worth it. Do it absolutely. Spend all your. No, I'm not saying that. It worked out for me. You know what I mean? It might not work out for everybody, but you cannot put a price on getting your face in front of the people who make these decisions. Because otherwise, like, there's just, I can say it, especially at a big outlet like IGN, there's just when we put out a posting not even for a job, just for freelancers. And Dan and Mai's inboxes were like assaulted with like 500 email applications a day. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, that's why my advice is like, you got to write for, at this point, you have to write for yourself, because the fact is this, and I've said this a lot of times because I think Greg and I have talked about this a lot, and I think Greg's a little more bullish than I am about it, where I'm like, the fact is it's almost certainly not going to happen. Like, if you want a job in this industry, like, and I don't say that to be mean, I say that because I want to be realistic. Like, it's just, jobs for writers in the gaming media is never been lower than it is right now. Like, you know, demand is low.
I lucked out so big time. I feel like I got in right as the window. Not that the window is totally closed and no one is hiring and there's no way to get a job anywhere. But I mean, that means the job pool has gotten smaller, and the number of experienced, qualified people out there who need jobs has gotten larger. And I'm like, there's just no way.
I hate to tell people like write and work really hard and you'll get in. It's just not necessarily true anymore. Now gaming media isn't necessarily waning, but it's being shoved to the side by other things. And so like you are more likely, in my opinion, and this isn't scientific, this is anecdotal, you are more likely, in my opinion, to have some sort of relevance in the gaming industry by being on YouTube or Twitch than you do.
If you're successful, if you're successful at it, absolutely.
So I just like to say that to be realistic. When I got involved, I started writing about video games in 2000, and I started getting paid to write about video games in 2002. So I had my experience. I am a veteran at this. I am more experienced than most of the people, almost probably all of the people in the industry that are writing about games. In terms of just time spent writing about games and getting paid for it.
It's all you've done.
But it is not 2002 anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the only thing I try to say is like, Greg and I are still relevant in some way, quote unquote, because we segued to personalities. We started doing Podcast Beyond, and we started doing podcasts, we started doing videos. And so people still want me to write, and I'm writing, I'm working on things, but you have to be very, very good like you to stay relevant in the industry, in the writing. And so I hate to tell people like, just work hard or whatever. It's like, my advice is like, make that a goal if you want to make it a goal, but have other goals, because you're going to be almost certainly disappointed. And that's just Colin being totally real with you, because I think I owe it to you to be totally real with you.
No, I agree. And you know, if we're gonna, and that's great. I'm glad you're actually walking down that path, because like, if I can be also like just ultra real, is that what I'm seeing even from the inside at IGN is that I mean, like, like the written word, it matters obviously in reviews, which is what I focus on. Like, that's important, but like, it's no secret that like video and personality is becoming more and more important, and I'm realizing that I am in a lucky place where, since I focus on reviews, and that's kind of primarily what IGN uses me for, I'm in a unique place where my writing ability is kind of the core, the crux of what my worth to the company is, and I'm doing the one position where that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm in the one, column where sheer writing ability is probably is still the highest criteria, is still the highest thing. You have to be able to do that to write reviews for IGN. But what I'm realizing is that if I want to grow my my social reach, if I want to become more relevant in the industry, and if I want to be able to create more successful content and engage with a larger audience, I'm realizing that I need a wider set of skills than I currently have. And like, that's why like over the last year, I've started to kind of privately make it more of a point to stream more, make it more of a point to try to be on podcasts and personality driven stuff, to do things like come out and like do a Colin and Greg, live, not just because I love you guys, but because I also think like I have to learn and get better at this. Like, if I'm going to continue doing this in any kind of viable way 10 years from now, 15 years from now. I mean, like, gaming journalism as it exists can't continue to exist. Like it just can't. Like, it just won't. Like, you look at the trends and what's relevant and what people are looking at, what people care about. Like, traditional media is just going away. You know, like, little by little, year on year, it's just fading away. If I want to keep doing what I love, I've learned. So I'm glad you brought it up, because you're right. The tips I gave, great if all you want to do is write, and if you lived 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. But you're right. What I said was not strictly speaking relevant to what's going on right now. What's going on right now is that you need other skills in addition, because I'm lucky that I got in with the skills that I have. There's an evolving set of abilities that make you attractive to a company, and I want to learn. It's my job now, if I want to do this for the foreseeable future, beyond the next few years or whatever, I need to acquire new skills too. So that's a great piece of advice. Like, be good at more than writing. Get good. Start to learn how to do your own capture. Start a stream. Start to learn how to engage with your audience in a better way. Learn how to be a presence on social media. Learn how to edit your own videos. Learn how to record quality VO. And, like, honestly, like, care deeply about playing games, not as a pro at a pro level, but care deeply about playing them competently and understanding their systems and understanding how they work, because people will spot a fake and will spot someone who doesn't know what they're talking about very easily, more easily than ever before. You can't just skirt by. And learn how to identify who your audience is and what they want and how to give it to them. There's a lot more skills that you need in the evolving world of games journalism.
Indeed. And also remember how much luck plays a part of it.
Yeah.
I was found by my writing on GameFAQs, and I was writing for, like, you know, other things that, like, when I was younger, the things that, you know, don't exist anymore. But just remember that, like, I was found because of my work on GameFAQs, and there was hundreds of us writing there, like, active in the that it could have been they could have literally pointed at any one of us. So, like, that was the beginning for me. That never would have happened, and I would have just gone another path, and I would have never known any different. So, just be realistic. That's all I want. I don't want people to be disappointed. This is Ty Root. Ty Root, formerly of GameSpot. Have you announced publicly what you're going to do next, or are you not going to say that yet?
No, I've announced it. I mean, I'm going back to Austin, Texas, the motherland, getting out of games media.
Right.
Yeah, going to a tech startup that does 360 VR video, specializes in the software compiling and also the production. So
It's very exciting.
I'm stoked.
Were you playing The Division? Was that what you were
I
playing?
was like, yeah, for probably a month religiously.
And then you stopped, because I stopped playing it as well.
Well, you get to a point in that game where you're just, I think it's like, especially games like Destiny, like Division, where you're just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, I had like a real, like, coming to Jesus moment where I just stopped and I was like, what am I doing? Like, there's nothing that benefits my life from playing this constantly.
That's the thing, is, like, you have to kind of balance the, like, it's all a waste of time, all of it. Did you play Uncharted?
I did. I loved it.
Did you like it?
Loved it. Oh yeah, that was by far the best Uncharted I've ever played.
Yeah, it was a fantastic.
Yeah, that was
happy to see it hanging on there.
That hit me in a very weird moment too, where I remember that opening scene where him and Elena are talking, and like their life is just so boring and kind of complacent. You can tell they're just like, it's all small talk, right? It's all surface level bullshit. It's like, how are you, honey? Good. Did you make dinner? Yeah. And they're just kind of sitting there on the couch, and that was right after me and my girlfriend at the time broke up. So I'm just sitting there, I'm just going like, I've been there before, guys. I know how that feels. You have nothing to talk about. There's no substance behind anything. I feel your pain. I feel it. Anyway, I loved it. It was great.
It was a great game.
At some point, we're going to stop caring about superheroes fighting each other. Because my problem is with things like, I mean, it's funny because we're looking at The Walking Dead on the screen, and then things like Batman is like, this thing could end really easily. Like, Batman can just fucking kill the Joker, and that's it. We're done. We don't have to go through this.
It's like I'm looking at myself.
We don't have to go through this bullshit
much more
anymore.
Handsome and sophisticated.
Well, you agree with that too, right?
I say that was one of the first conversations.
Yeah.
I'm like, couldn't Batman just kill the Joker?
And then it's over, right? Then you're done.
It's
You save all these lives.
And it would be righteous. Like, no one would be mad at him for doing it.
There are some things I hope just go away though altogether. Like, I'm done with reality TV. It needs to die. I mean, and by the way, most of that shit's scripted. I'm telling you guys all right now, 90% of that shit's scripted no matter what. Because the truth is, real life is fucking boring. It's boring. And if you're a producer for a reality TV show, you have to make it interesting.
Except for my life would be extremely exciting.
Yes.
You can put a camera on me and watch me just sit on the couch.
Can we please?
And I just read.
I'd watch it every day.
Could we put a little GoPro on you?
Yeah, and just I get up every once in a while to go to the fridge. I get a yogurt.
Do your elliptical.
I go on the elliptical. I walk to the store to
You
get
should get a little
groceries.
drone that just follows you.
Yeah.
It would be extremely riveting stuff. Do we really think that Aquaman movie is going to be really good? Did you see Aquaman and Batman vs Superman? It looked
No.
fucking terrible.
Dumb.
Are we really going to get excited about that? Are we going to tell ourselves that we're excited about that movie?
No.
Are we really going to pretend?
Absolutely
Because it's
not.
just a comic book movie, we're gonna go, oh, I want to see Aquaman.
I always thought
who's
that was
somehow even more irrelevant than Superman.
I-
Spleen Stabber says, so hyped for Aquaman. Colin, you're delusional on this one. If you say so.
Aquaman?
If you say so.
I thought that was a made-up character from like Entourage. Wasn't he playing Aquaman like in some season of Entourage?
I didn't watch Ultra.
Oh my god. I just was like, I could not believe that was a real thing. Aquaman. Just
When he showed up in Batman vs Superman, I actually laughed out loud. I was with Nick and I started laughing. I'm
that
like,
was a
this
terrible
character
scene.
is so bad. And they lingered on him for so long.
So long.
Christopher Nolan fucking nailed Batman.
except for the last one, it sucked.
Oh, get out of here. The last one's
It was
great.
Yeah, that's a
complete
shitty
garbage.
opinion.
Garbage.
Trash opinion.
Garbage.
No.
That's my favorite one.
Complete fucking garbage.
I hate when people say it's a complete garbage. What was complete? I've watched that movie again recently, and I'm like,
It's
I'm
garbage.
waiting for the moment when I'm like, oh, Colin, how can you possibly thought this was a great movie? And then I'm like, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, this is a great movie.
That movie has so many faults, I can't forgive it. I'm sorry.
I can't talk about this anymore.
That's fine. Don't worry. What are your thoughts on The Walking Dead?
The game or the show?
The show.
I stopped watching the show like 3 years ago.
Okay, so am I the only one that I stopped watching because I want to know why they're zombies. And unless I ever find out why, I'm just done.
It's like
Yeah,
sitting next to myself,
exactly.
isn't it?
Okay, good. I'm glad, man. I'm gonna miss you,
I'm
Colin.
gonna miss you too, Tom. Let's see. Selfishness is a virtue. Gave us a tip. It said, I got a controversial book torn out of my hands and torn up today at university by some protesting students. Has university always been this intellectually stagnant, or is this a specifically bad time?
I love this. Oh,
What was the
God.
controversial book? Now I want to know what your name suggests that it could have been an Ayn Rand book, but
I'm so glad I don't go to college now. I'm so happy I'm out of college.
college hasn't always been this intellectually stagnant. College is dominated by one-sided liberal ideology for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's like, where are the conservatives? Like, where are like your normal people? Like that want to balance these things out. Like it's just very one-sided. So has it always been like this? It seems like it's getting worse. I don't remember it being like that when I went to Northeastern.
I get it now because you and I have talked about this at length, but I used to be terrified of expressing any of my political ideologies here in San Francisco. Like terrified. Like I was going to get crucified by telling people I was I remember when I actually came out and said I was a registered Republican, I was like, I might lose my job now. Like I was freaking out. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact I've seen a lot of this stuff in the news with this is nuts. Like tearing a book out of someone's hand just because you don't like it. And what if they were just sitting there at the park reading an Ayn Rand book, just not bothering anybody. This person just comes and rips it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
It's interesting. You shouldn't do that.
What you're seeing from the academic left lately, which is scary to me, not that they exist, because I think that the academic left has every right to exist and every right to teach, and I had very liberal professors. I had some conservative professors too, studying history and politics. But what's scary about the neoliberalism in colleges today and in academia is how scared they are of any dissenting opinions and how they'll basically just pretend that those opinions don't exist or shame people into having different opinions or whatever. There's a real fear in far left circles of dissent.
Yeah.
And it's fascist. I hate to tell you. So, as I've said many times, the spectrum is not a line, it is a loop. And when you get to the far left or far right, you start to resemble the thing you hate.
Yep. Agreed.
And so the far left is inherently not fascist, yet they are so far to the left that they are becoming fascist.
Yeah. I think knowledge is power, especially when you apply that power. And I think you need to hear dissenting, other opinions, other people's ideas. I think that's so important with how to grow as a human being, be more educated, be more thoughtful. You just have a better understanding of how the world works. So if you disagree with someone, it doesn't mean they're the boogeyman out to get you. It just means you guys have different opinions. You can coexist peacefully.
And there needs to be a more moderate approach to academia and a more moderate approach to the way we talk to each other as well. Yeah. I am scared by people that are just put off by other people's political opinions as a human. Unless you're talking about a Nazi or a communist or something like that, then I really don't get it. I just don't get it. The Age Zone gave us tips and said, my concern if Trump is president is his plan to ban Muslims to come to the USA. I spent years of my life to become a doctor. I have 3 years to become a hematologist, and I don't get my degree if we're deported. Dude, Donald Trump can't deport you.
No.
Congress controls the strings. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, people need to educate themselves a little more on American government. Donald Trump can't just go like, we're deporting everyone now.
No.
Like, that's not going to happen. That's illegal. So, like, that's why I'm saying, like, you have checks and balances. That's what the Constitution's so brilliant at, is checks and balances. They're everywhere. They're all over the place. And he is going to be balanced out if he becomes president. And he's not going to do kind of shit like that. And that's unconstitutional. Like, you can't do that. It's a religious test.
I know a lot of people, though, that think like he does, that basically are so concerned they're going to get deported from this country if he becomes president. And I was always, I mean, granted, I was born here, so whatever, I don't have to worry about that. But I was like, how does that even happen?
Well, what he said is he was going to have deportation squads driving around
And just deporting
taking up people that are illegal or...
I mean, that's fucked up, and hope that doesn't happen, obviously, but I just don't see, like Colin said, like how we could...
Full-blown, like he's said that. That's what he ideally wants to have going on.
And Colin, the only argument I would say that the reason why people are scared is because if you think about you said the Constitution. We haven't fucking followed the Constitution in like 50 years, dude. Maybe even more than that, man.
That's true.
When's the last time we declared war?
World War II.
Yeah. And how many wars have we been since World War II?
Oh, many.
It doesn't matter. We don't follow that fucking document.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know where in that document it says they can tax you and me and then give our money away as foreign aid. Where's that in the Constitution?
It's just the First Amendment says the following.
Yeah.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof.
Yeah.
Or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people to peacefully assemble or to petition the government for a redress of grievances. It is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And if people think Trump is going to be able to unilaterally deport them, then you have to go back and you have to read about why that's not possible.
Yeah.
Not only from a constitutional angle, but from a procedural angle. Congress can deport you, I guess.
Yeah.
But then they'd have to amend the Constitution, and then the state legislatures would have to amend the Constitution. The president would have to allow that to happen, then they would have to pass a bill, then it would have to be signed by the president.
But I think it's okay to be afraid that, like, someone who's being nominated for a party, being the party's candidate on this, like, that being their platform, like, you can be afraid of that. That is scary. That he's saying, like, this is what I want to do. Yeah, let's ban all of these people because of their religion. That is very frightening.
It is frightening.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
It's one of the reasons why I can't vote for him.
I won't either.
He's a bigot. I mean, he's a bigot. Nolan Elric says, Colin, there were immigration acts in the past that limited certain groups. There were, and a lot of those were considered unconstitutional. I mean, look at what happened with Japanese internment and how that took time later to remedy.
You guys, by the way, have like the best fans.
They're the best.
Like the best. Like you know what? The one thing I'm not gonna miss about GameSpot and IGN and all that crap is like just the hate that just spews out of people's mouths. I mean, granted, like I know that's part of that culture, but I like look at you guys. I look at Giant Bomb, and I'm like, wow, you guys are just really nice people that really like you guys and appreciate what you do.
Luker8125 says, Ty is such a handsome and smart man. You're always welcome at Kind of Funny.
See, I would never get that at my previous job ever. They would be like, who the fuck is this asshole getting on the damn camera? It's nice. You have good fans. I like you.
Thank you. Jihad Q1 gave us a tip. Said, hello, everyone. Ty, can you tell us a crazy Nick Scarpino story from the old days?
The salary one was my favorite one. That when we were outside at Comic Club and some girl tapped me on the shoulder and was like, is it true your friend here makes $400,000 a month?
A month?
Yeah. I was talking to Craig and this girl just tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, excuse me. And I'm like, what? And she's like, your friend here makes $400,000 a month? And I just look at Nick and he's just like, and I look at her, I'm just like, absolutely. So I swear I think I've told that one on this show before, but I forgot. The other one, my favorite, was when he was talking to a girl all night long at the Comic Club. And the Comic Club, by the way, is like where we all went.
It's an institution.
It was like the den of sin. It was just gross. And we went there every weekend. It was amazing. But I remember he was talking to this girl all night long. And I'm like, oh, like Nick's talking to this really pretty nice girl. I'm like, great. And they just were at the bar, drinking, talking, and me and the guys were like, running around, dancing, meeting other girls, having a good time. But the whole time Nick was at this bar talking to this woman, and the bar shuts down, and I guess all I see is him dipping his napkin in water and wiping his forearm like this. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I think she just threw his water in his face or did something like that maybe and then walked off. And I asked Nick, I'm like, what happened? He's like, dude, he's like, I spent all night talking to her. I suggest we go out. And she's like, oh, you mean like as friends? Because like she had written her phone number on his arm. And he's like, no, I want to take you out on a date. And she's like, oh, like, I'm a good wing woman. Like, we should go out as friends. Like, I don't really see you that way. And he just sat there and was like, I have enough friends. And then just wiped the number off his phone.
Have enough friends.
Or he said something like that. I might be butchering the story. I hope he doesn't kill me for telling this shit. But
He doesn't care.
fucking
Nick really doesn't care. Too bad anyway.
it was really fun.
We'll see you next time.